Welcome into UCCU Ballpark on the campus of Utah Valley University, the site of the 2023 6A State Championship Baseball Series on KSLSports.com, your online home for state championships. It's Game 2. The series is being led right now by Skyridge, 1-0. AF has got to win 2 today if they're going to take home a state championship. And for Skyridge, they take care of business here in Game 2. They will take home their first ever state championship in baseball in school history. Pitching today for Skyridge is Cruz Shank. And on the dish is Max Johansson. Leading things off is CJ Mascaro. As that is in there for a called strike. We apologize. Our camera's going to be stationary for the next little bit, so I'm going to apologize about the inconvenience right now. But I want to make sure that our scoreboard and everything that you're seeing on the screen is working and running well. As that ball misses, so it's 1 ball and 1 strike to Mascaro, who last night was 0 for 2 with 2 walks and a run scored. And the 1-1 swung through, strike 2. AF was a frustrating loss last night, up 6-1 in the 6th inning. Lost the game 7-6 after 2 home runs in the bottom of the 6th inning for Skyridge was the difference, including the 3-run home run from Tyler Ball, which was his 41st, 42nd, and 43rd RBI of the season. And the 2-2 to Mascaro. Swung through, strike 3, and there is 1 out. I had a chance to talk to Coach Ingersoll about it. Jared Ingersoll, legendary coach at American Fork. Asked him about how he bounced back. Said, hey, we just tell our guys to let it go. We played good ball before then, and you have to kind of just get over it and play just today. Don't worry about yesterday. Very matter of fact about it. And that brings up Ryder Robinson, the designated hitter, as that pitch misses off the plate for ball 1. Oh, right back at him, and he caught it. Oh, mercy. Cruz Shank's going to need a second. That was an absolute rocket that Cruz Shank able to take right by his face. Oh, mercy. If you've ever experienced that, you know the chill that just goes through Cruz Shank. Oh, man. And that brings up Joshua Rojas. Yeah, that's in there for a called strike 1. That's one of those situations in a scorekeeping book you put like F1. You know, no way. That is a big L1, a line out 1. That ball was smoked by Robinson. And the 0-1 to Rojas in there for a called strike 2. I think if I saw it correctly, Cruz Shank can throw 65 pitches today. As Rojas goes down, oh no, he was able to tip that one. Able to foul it off. Got to give Johansson just a second to collect himself. We certainly hope you've enjoyed the coverage this week, as today is the farewell tour of all the coverage in the 2022-23 season for KSL Sports Rewind, and we certainly thank all of you and all the passion and support there is for high school sports in the state of Utah. Just getting bigger and better. This was our 18th season for Dane and I covering sports, but with Rewind, this is season 15. As that pitch misses, 1 ball and 2 strikes. And the 1-2 misses. And you know that it was where Johansson wanted it, which was off the plate, because Johansson didn't hold it for the umpire to see it or anything like that. It was throw back. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Joshua Rojas. And the 2-2 will be lined into center field. It's a 2-out single for Rojas. A mishandled in center field. So he'll get the single. He'll take second on the error from Young. And now a runner in scoring position for American Fork. They played it 3 runs yesterday in the first inning. And see now with that extension, it brings up Dax Watts. He is the starting pitcher this morning for American Fork. Dax was 2 for 3 yesterday with three RBIs and 2 doubles. Can certainly help himself out here. And that pitch misses wide of the plate for ball 1. Again, that stationary camera will be that way for the first couple innings as we get some things figured out. And we'll be back to our normal coverage. 1 ball and no strikes to Dax Watts. And that ball lifted out of play. One ball and 1 strike to Watts. Batting .446 on the season. 30 RBIs, 14 doubles, 2 home runs. They try to backdoor that ball into center field, and a courtesy runner for Rojas has got to round third and come home as the ball got away from Young. And it is 1-0 American Fork. Certainly not the way the Skyridge would want this first inning to go, especially, well, it started that way. But Rojas reaching on the single, you had the error in center field, and now we've got the throwback that gets away and got through center field again. And it's 1-0. And the 1-0 to Watts, chopped to short. Taken by Johansson and over to first in time. But the Cavemen able to play to run as we go to the bottom of the first inning. It is 1-0 American Fork. You're watching Game 2 of the 6A Championship Baseball Series on KSLSports.com, your online home for state championships.
Okay.
And welcome back to UCCU Ballpark. Dusty Litster with you. Let's go through our defensive lineup for the American Fork Cavemen. It is Coleman Perry at first, Cooper Jones at second, Gavin Schoonover at third, and Jet Walker at short. In the outfield is Isaac Murdoch in left, CJ Mascaro in center, and Davin Pace in right field. And the battery for today is Dax Watts on the mound, and it is Joshua Rojas on the dish. Lineup for the Skyridge Falcons is going to be Dalton Young, Cruz Shank, and then Isaac Johansson due up in the first inning. Ike Pickle will not be playing. Injured his leg late on Friday, and frustrating to not see him. I've been at the 5A tournament all week long. Been excited to see Ike Pickle. Young man batting over 500 on the season. But not going to see him out there with the injury. But luckily it is not an injury that will take a long time to get over. But it's not something he could shake off 2 days later. But the young man batting .523 on the season with 29 RBIs, 9 doubles, 5 triples, 3 homers. That's certainly frustrating for him. But for his Skyridge teammates, trying to take care of business to bring home a title. So that brings up Dalton Young, the center fielder. Young man that won a state championship in football. The first ever state championship in football at Skyridge. The school's only been around for I think this was year 6, remember right? But it's Watts on the mound for Coach Jared Ingersoll, and that's in there for called strike 1. Yesterday was a day that both teams will never forget. One for American Fork, up 6-1 in the bottom of the 6th inning. And have that lead just taken away. 6 runs in the bottom of the 6th, giving the lead and the win to Skyridge as Young gets this one through the infield. That's a leadoff single here in the bottom of the 1st inning, and the leadoff man is aboard for Coach Ryan Roberts and the Skyridge Falcons. Of course, Ryan Roberts was a star baseball player at Mountain View. Played at BYU, had an outstanding career there. Then began his played in the minor leagues for a little bit. And then began his coaching career, which started here at UVSC with Coach Gardner. And then went to BYU as an assistant coach. Vance Law was an instructor down in Mesquite for Dusty Litster. Had a baseball camp. Of course, he remembers every moment. I only kid, as I joked with him today, he says, Dusty, I don't remember that. So that's okay. I said, you won't remember me anyway. You're only there. The only thing you remember from that camp is probably that Brady Martinez was there, who was a former 3A MVP at Carbon and pitched at the University of Utah, was a single season saves record holder, and pitched for the Arizona State Sun Devils, then was in the Yankees farm system. Is that ball lifted? Rojas coming over, calls everyone off, and whoo! Just makes the catch to Rojas. Fully expected Schoonover to call him off on that, but Rojas able to make the catch for the first out of the inning. But the finish out on Roberts was a longtime coach with Coach Vance Law, then left BYU when Skyridge opened up. Took the position of Skyridge and has been the lone coach in the history of this program. Was certainly well respected, and got family members that love that guy to death. So that brings up Isaac Johansson. With the runner on first and 1 out, and Johansson swings through the first pitch for the first strike. If you're just joining us, apologize about the stationary camera. We'll have that figured out here in just a little bit, but want to make sure you can see it. I thought about running the camera and calling the game, but then we wouldn't have the scoreboard updated, and that's always more frustrating than anything else. We want to make sure you see what's going on with the action and make sure that the scoreboard on screen is as accurate as possible. But we'll have it figured out here momentarily. And the 0-1 to Johansson. And that's off the plate for ball 1. Evens is up. Skyridge wanted to put a little pressure on the defense. And again, and try to keep Dalton Young close to first base. American Fork able to score in the top of the first inning off some errors from Skyridge. There were 3 errors in the inning for the Falcons. And surrendering that lone run. As Watts comes set. And the runner delays steal. And there it is. Roped right into right field. Johansson aboard as he advances the runner on the hit and run. I think run properly. Hit and run is not just a steal. It's hit and run. You get off on the good secondary lead partway between first base and second base. See the ball through the infield. And then advance. But the ball scorched in the right field. Only advances him 1 base as he had to freeze on the line drive to make sure he get back on without being doubled off. And that will bring up Tyler Ball, the hero of last evening. It was a frustrating night for Tyler on the mound. Gave up 3 runs in the first, scattered 3 more runs in that 6-1 deficit. But then he erased it with a 3-run homer to get himself the win. But many think he is Mr. Baseball this year in the state of Utah. Batting .446 on the year. 8 doubles, 3 triples, 11 home runs, and 43 runs driven in. And the 0-1 is off the plate. And evens the count of a ball and a strike. And now the 1-1. Snap back to second and nearly doing the same thing that Skyridge did in the first inning. That is how the run scored for Skyridge, was a pickoff move to second base. It was airmailed in the center. Fortunate. And that's the thing we teach too, is to throw the ball to the bag. If your guys aren't there to cover, I'm going to pray that it hits the base runner. And now the 1-1. That is up and in. Two balls and one strike. And the 2-1 lifted into right field. Pace over there. Runner tags from second and not going to test the arm of Pace. So it'll be 2 outs and runners on first and second. Remember, down the lines here, as you can see on the screen, very short. It's only 305 down the line here in left field, and it angles to 470, or probably 425, not 475. This isn't Forbes Field. I apologize about that, but 475, and same way coming here down the right field line. So the dimensions play this much differently. And 6A's been at UVU all week long, where 5A we've been at Larry Miller Field at BYU, which is much more even as far as the difference around the field. And the outfield plays bigger than it does here at UCCU, although there's a deeper part of the ballpark. No balls and one strike and 2 out and 2 on. And the 0-1 lined into right field, but right at Pace for the 3rd out of the inning. Skyridge got runners on, but could not bring him across. And through one complete, it is American Fork 1, Skyridge 0. We'll come back with the top of the second. Right after this, you're watching Game 2 of the 6A Championship Baseball Series. And leading things off in the top of the second inning for American Fork is Cooper Jones. Cooper swung a good bat last night for Coach Ingersoll. 2 singles and RBI, or 2 singles, 2 RBIs, and a run scored. As he swings through that first pitch. And the 0-1 from Cruikshank misses inside, and the count evens up at a ball and a strike. And the 1-1 swung through, strike 2. Jones, a late bloomer in this season, at least according to the stats report, as sophomore. Appeared in 9 games, batting .500 in those 9 games. Is that pitch in there for called strike 3? So 1 out. And it brings up the shortstop, Jet Walker. And Walker looks at strike 1. And now the 0-1. Swung through, strike two. No balls and two strikes. And the 0-2 bounced. One to burn for Cruikshank. Shank 5-1 on the season in 8 appearances, a 3.37 ERA. And he gets a strikeout there. 2 away. With 2 Ks to open up the inning for Crew. And that's going to bring up the first baseman, Coleman Perry. And the third baseman, Gavin Schoonover, on deck. As Perry ropes that one down the first baseline, but foul. And the 0-1 misses wide. In 16 games making an appearance, Perry batting .300 on the year, 3 doubles. And the 1-1 wide of the plate. Count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. This American Fork program has been the model of consistency in the state of Utah. Under Coach Jared Ingersoll, they get deep into the tournament every year. They get the state championship series a lot. I've won a few. We'll go through those numbers. Of course, former state championship head coach from American Fork will be coming up next, and Coach Kim Nelson won state championships as the head coach at AF in '84 and '85. And there was a drought in state championships at AF until 2012 when Jared Ingersoll brought home a title. As that pitch off the plate, the count runs full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. But for Coach Ingersoll, state championships in 2012, 2016, and 2021 with Caden Carpenter. And, he went to mouth on the mound. Once you're on the rubber, you cannot go to your mouth. You can't lick your fingers. You've got to be off of the rubber. You cannot be engaged on the rubber. Probably just didn't realize who he was on the field. Cruikshank understood it. Coach Roberts going to come out and have a conversation with the third base umpire. Say, hey, he can go to his mouth on the mound, but once he's engaged on the rubber, he cannot go to his mouth. So award the runner first base. So again, with 2 outs, a base runner is aboard for American Fork. That's how they scored their lone run of the ball game back at the top of last inning. But for AF state championships in 61, 62, 63, 64, 80, 84, 85, 12, 16, 21. And, of course, they hang this, and I love it because we called it the 2020 Last Chance Tournament State Championship as they defeated Riverton. So to the plate now is Schoonover, the third baseman, Gavin Schoonover. Schoonover has driven in 16 runs on the year, a double and a home run to his credit. Defensive third baseman. And the 0-1 swung through for strike one. So 1 ball and no strikes. Or probably 1 ball and 1 strike. And that pitch misses inside. 2 balls and a strike. And now the 2-1 hit in the right field. That ball's going to get down. Perry will hold up his second base as he advances the runner with a 2-out single to Schoonover. So put runners on first and second with 2 outs. And Davin Pace, the right fielder, coming to the plate. And Pace swings through the first pitch for strike 1. Last time from the plate, Pace did not reach. And on the year, Pace batting .344. Has got 22 RBIs on the year. Does have has 1 home run as well to go with 7 doubles and 3 triples. And the 0-1 misses inside. And the count evens up at a ball and a strike. Hope you're enjoying your Memorial Day weekend as the summer is officially started. Could tell by the traffic last evening trying to get down here from Draper. But hope you're enjoying your weekend and enjoying the beginning of summer. To you graduates, congratulations on graduation, a first step in adulthood. And look forward to wishing you nothing but success in your futures. Life's a garden. Grow it. As the philosopher Joe Dierte said. And the 1-0, or probably the 1-1 swung on. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Shank 1 strike away from getting out of the jam. And the 1-2. Lifted on the infield. And it is Stafford coming over to take it for the 3rd out of the inning. So he does get out of the jam. American Fork put a little bit of pressure on, but Skyridge able to handle it. We go to the bottom of the 2nd inning, and it's 1-0 AF. Bottom of the 2nd inning. And leading off for Skyridge is Gavin Bauer. Time was, we've been able to make Jack Bauer jokes, so I'll just do it overtly. As that pitch misses. If you youngsters don't know who Jack Bauer is, in the age of being able to binge watch things, go binge 24. You're welcome. And the 1-0. As that pitch misses, 2 balls and no strikes. And the 2-0 lifted in the center field. Mascaro ranges over and retires Bauer for the 1st out of the inning. And now to bring up Camden Stafford. And Stafford lifts this one into left. Murdoch is there to retire him for the second out of the inning. So fly out to center, fly out to left, brings up Mason Thompson, one of the heroes last evening. He sparked the offense with a 2-run home run that then led to the go-ahead 3-run homer from Ball. And that pitch fouled down the left field line. As that pitch swung on, and count quickly, no balls and 2 strikes. And that one misses. And that one, not there either. The count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, and nobody aboard, and that's called strike 3. Dax Watts gets through the inning in order. There we go to the top of the third. We'll be right back. CJ Mascaro leading things off on in the inning. Bottom of the third. Or pardon me, the top of the third. Mascaro went down on strikes in his first at bat. The 0-1 finds the zone, strike 2. But they'll put pressure on Shank. Able to plate the run in the first inning off of some errors. Again, they put more pressure on him in this inning. The 0-2 up and out. And now the 1-2. That misses wide as well. And it takes the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. And now the 2-2. Called strike 3. Paints the corner. And there's one away. And if you're an AF fan, you'd be arguing that it was the Maddox corner. And if you're a Braves fan, you don't get the joke, but you really should. As coming to play now is Ryder Robinson. Robinson hit an absolute scorcher. A play that's definitely going to end up on our plays of the tournament. We've got a couple comebackers, but none hit harder than the one that Shank was able to catch back in the first inning. Ryder Robinson absolutely hit that ball in the screws. And Shank stabbed it for the out. And the 2-0 in there for a called strike. And now the 2-1. Fouled off of the plate. Count goes even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, welcome to, if you're just joining us, Game 2 of the Championship Series. 5A Game 2 will come up next. If AF is to win this game, we'll have Game 3 will come up around 4 o'clock. And the 2-2 misses wide. The count goes full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. And Robinson looks at ball 4. So put him aboard. So runner on for Joshua Rojas, the starting catcher. Rojas represents the lone run in the ball game. Walked in the first and his courtesy runner. He singled in the first. Reached second on error. Then his courtesy runner at second base. It was a pickoff attempt to second to win in the center field. And the center field mishandled out for another error that brought in the run. Rojas extended the inning with a single. And that pitch is well off the plate. Sometimes you get so worried about hit and runs and all motion whatnot that the pitcher can get a little erratic with the runner on. He missed it. He was pulled up. It was called to be outside, and he hits Rojas square in the back. And the umpire said that the timeout was granted. Put him back at the plate. So now Coach Roberts going to come out to have a conversation with Shank. So he'll take one of his appearances, but I think, I'm guessing what happened, we don't have umpires around us like we, just standing right by us like we do when we're at BYU, just to go through the mechanics of that. But the only thing I could think of is that timeout was called before the pitch, or was granted, should say called, but was granted. So Coach Roberts able to come out and have a conversation. So Rojas will step back in as Robinson goes back to first base. It's 1 ball. Actually, it wouldn't be a ball. So first pitch to Rojas is wide of the plate. 2 balls and no strikes. And now the 2-0. And that misses wide. And the count goes to 3 balls and no strikes. And now the 3-0 pitch. Rojas shows bunt, pulls, and it's in there for a called strike one. So 3 balls and 1 strike. And 1 out, a runner at second. As Rojas chops this one to third base side. It's bobbled at first. Up with it. Try to go back to second. And we're right where we were a moment ago. Runners on first and second. Rojas will reach on the fielder's choice. As Youngberg tried to backdoor right of Robinson. Good base running by Robinson. Not running on contact. Trying to get him back at second base. And he is safe, and everybody is safe. Rojas will not be granted a hit because he reached on a fielder's choice. So that brings up Dax Watts. As we mentioned before, starting pitcher today, but yesterday swung a big bat. Hit a ball off the wall through the wind. I mean, it was super windy in the first inning yesterday, and hit a ball off the wall in left field. Actually hit the fencing, not just the wall. And then hit a double to right center field. Got ahead of that one, fouls it off. Always enjoy being able to do AF and Skyridge games. These coaching staffs are a lot of fun. We've gotten to know them. As Coach Jeff Gardner, the basketball coach at Skyridge, joined the baseball staff this spring. As that ball fouled back to the screen. Got a chance to meet Coach Johansson. Got his 2 boys, of course, his catcher, and then his son Isaac. But then Coach Jared Ingersoll got to know him well during the Last Chance tournament, and his coaching staff as well that helped us out there in that tournament. Always good to see him. And the 0-2 wide of the plate, and the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes. And hopefully I get to see Coach Ingersoll in a couple of weeks. Last year, it's funny, I go down to Carbon County, to my hometown, and spend some time with some friends down there, and go out to dinner. And I heard this voice around through the wall, whatever, around the wall. And it was Coach Jared Ingersoll. He was on a fishing trip. So it's good to run into him there. One of the good guys. He'll scare you half to death when you see him on the field, especially with his glasses on. But then just one of the nicest guys. We get a chance to see his younger brother coming up next. His Lehigh Pioneers, the reigning 5A champs, are on the ropes. Lost game 1 to Timpanogos last night. And Timpanogos will be looking to bring home the 9th state championship. The coach, Kim Nelson, that will tie him for 3rd all-time in state history. And the 1-2. Chop to the left side and just step on it. Oh, no. Dead ball. So dead ball. Bring Watts back. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And again, the 1-2 swung through by Watts. Snap to first, goes off the helmet of the base runner. Oh no, he's hung up in between. Snap back over to first, and he's out. Fortunate stuff happening here for Skyridge. Get the strikeout on Watts. And then the throw down to first, and the runner was just hung up. And then tagged out. So strike him out, throw him out, kind of. And the top of the 3rd inning. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. You're watching game 2 of the 6A Championship Baseball Series. So Chase Youngberg going to lead off the bottom of the 3rd. As that misses. Youngberg, the third baseman. And the 1-0 chopped down the third baseline and foul. And now the 1-1 lifted out of play. So a ball and 2 strikes to Youngberg. Youngberg's driven in 9 runs on the year and has a double to his credit. And swings through that one for strike 3 as Rojas tags him out on the drop third strike, and there's 1 out. And that's the second strikeout of the day for Dax Watts. As we go to the top of the order, and Dalton Young coming to the plate. And Dalton looks at ball 1. Josh Rojas is telling coaches, hey, it was outside. Much to the chagrin of the fans below us. But Rojas got the best look at it. And now the 1-0 is bounced, and the count goes to 2 balls and no strikes. And Watts finds his own there. 2 balls and a strike. Watts to is at 28 pitches thus far. And the 2-1. That's in there for a called strike 2. So Watts bounces back to even the count at 2-2. Dalton, a 404 hitter on the year. Can hang on here in battle. The 2-2. Breaking ball, chopped to third base side, knocked down. Schoonover over to first. Oh, just could not dig it. Perry, had he dug it, would have been very close to first base. But as it is, I got that as an infield single. And it is. So an infield single for Dalton Young as an outstanding job by Schoonover at third. And that brings up the starting pitcher, Krushank. And the pitch is well wide. A 1 ball and no strikes. And the 1-0 must have just missed. So the count, 2 balls and no strikes to Krushank. Crew flew out to Rojas, the catcher, back in the first inning. And the 2-0. And that one fouled off of the plate, moves the count to 2 balls and a strike. Skyridge swept the season series. It was a close series. All of the games were within 2 runs. That one extra inning game. It was during a 6-game losing streak for the Cavemen, and then American Fork got going in the tournament. Took 2 games from Corner Canyon after losing 3 games to Corner Canyon. They lost on Wednesday during bracket play to Riverton. Bounced back, came back, and then beat Riverton to earn their way to the 6A title series. So worried about movement at first base. That's what you want to do now after all the worrying is a groove of fastball here by Watts. And now the 2-1. Grounded to third. Over to second, over to first. Did he get there in time? He did not. Coach Ingersoll wants runner interference at second base. I don't know if he's going to get the call. You have to slide to the bag in high school. Can't slide through it. So if you watch Major League Baseball or college ball or anything, you got to slide to the bag. I think Coach Ingersoll's wanted because his hands were up. He was doing the roller coaster slide. So 2 outs and a runner on first base. And there's a chance, I'll give you guys a rule change we could be seeing very soon in the high school ranks. Is the coaches won't be allowed to come onto the field. They'll be able to come to the circle, but not to the field. I was hearing about that potential move in the next year or so. That'd be the college rule now. So that brings up Cruz-Shank. That probably brings up Isaac Johansson. I apologize. Shank reached on the fielder's choice. And that ball gets away from Perry, and that's going to be from first to third for Shank. So put the game-tying run on third base. But thrown over a lot to bases. And that's going to bring out a little meeting of the minds for American Fork. While they do that, we'll step aside just for a minute. We'll be right back. So after the meeting, again, the game time runs at third base. And at the plate is Isaac Johansson. A good stick. Batting .356 on the year. Driven in 14. Got 7 doubles, a triple, and a home run. Dad, one of the assistant coaches for Coach Roberts. He handles calling all the pitches. As that pitch is off the plate, ball 1. And the 1-0. Chopped at the plate. Count evens up at a ball and a strike. So 1 ball and 1 strike. 2 outs and a runner on third base for Skyridge. Looking to tie things up. And the 1-1 has bounced. Count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. And now the 2-1. And that's called on the outer half, and evens the count at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs and a runner on third base for Isaac Johansson. Watts done a nice job. This will be pitch number 39 on the day for Watts as Johansson's granted time. And now the 2-2. I don't know that we'll see it anytime soon, and it's something that's really, I think, has helped Major League Baseball is the pitch clock. But now, even if you limited how many times you can call timeout at the plate, how many times you can disengage from the rubber, all good stuff to move baseball. And what it does is it creates action, but on top, it creates decisiveness. You know, baseball's only been a game without a clock. The only thing you're worried about is an out. And the pitcher controls the tempo of the game. The umpire actually controls it, but the tempo is controlled by the pitcher. And now the 2-2 misses wide, and the count goes to 3 balls and 2 strikes. But what it's done to Major League Baseball is you got to be decisive. The pitch calm and all that kind of stuff, I don't worry about that so much. But just the amount you can throw over to first base and all the overthinking and all the stuff that's done. They said the average time between pitches last year was around 3 minutes per pitch. And now the payoff from Watts. Misses the plate, ball 4. But I think it does, it causes overthinking, all the stoppages, and you do all that stuff. You're out thinking the game, and though baseball is known as the thinking man's game, sometimes it's paralysis by analysis, and you overthink it, and then it leads to mistakes. Because one of the things we always talk about, hey, stop thinking, just throw. When you talk to a pitcher a lot of times, one of the things you try to remind them, like, hey, quit thinking so much. Just get up there and throw the ball. And a lot of times when you spend so much time throwing over and we worry about all this stuff, you end up becoming erratic. You get out of a rhythm. There's something to a rhythm. So that brings up Tyler Ball as a big, big stick. 11 home runs on the year, 43 runs driven in. Runners on the corners, 2 outs, and that ball lifted into center field. And going back to get it is Mascaro for the 3rd out. A loud 3rd out from Tyler Ball, and C.J. Mascaro pulls it in. We go to the top of the 4th inning, and it's 1-0 American Fork. You are watching the 2023 6A State Championship Baseball Series on KSLSports.com.
Okay. You ain't on my level, then shoot. I can't die. 같은 질투 떠너비 올라와. 공기도 달라.
And Cooper Jones going to lead us off in the 4th inning. So the count quickly, no balls and 2 strikes. to Cooper Jones. As that pitch misses wide. And that pitch also wide. So the count now even at 2-2. Jones went down looking in his only plate appearance. Goes down swinging here. Drop third strike as Johansson throws it down for the out. So nice job here by Shank. And that brings up Jet Walker. As Walker looks at strike one on the breaking ball. And pitch number 65 off the plate. Ball and a strike. And again, I should have asked for the pitching information for today. I was in there for a meeting on a part of it, and I should have written it down or taken a picture. But Shank pitched earlier in the week and limited pitches. So the count goes at 2-1. Jet Walker went down on strikes in his only plate appearance in the second inning. And a good count of 2-1. Big swing and a miss on the elevated fastball, and the count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. The park filling up a little bit. We always say Saturday doesn't have as many fans as Friday. Here in the championship series, that's ball 3. The count now full. Never know with the high school check swing rule, because it's all about intent. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and 1 out. And Shank gets the strikeout. Down goes Walker for the second out of the inning. And that is strikeout number 6 on the day for Shank. It brings up Coleman Perry, the first baseman. And it's a little check swing to short, and it's handled by Johansson for the third out. And AF goes down in order for the first time today. And that'll bring up Skyridge as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. It's 1-0 American Fork leading. You're watching Game 2 of the 6A Championship Baseball Series. So leading things off in the bottom of the 4th inning is Ty Evans, the second baseman, the utility man for Skyridge. He's played everywhere on the field, essentially. Catcher as well. As Watts delivers, that ball deposited in the left field. So now the leadoff man is aboard for Skyridge. Game time runs at first base. And that brings up Gavin Bauer. Bauer 0 for 1 today, flew out to center. As the throw over to first base. Trying to limit this thing with the game time run at first base. But for Watts, got to work down, get the ground ball. Keep an interesting stat here in just a moment. Is when you go through the outs in this game for Dax Watts, he only has one out that's been produced by a ground ball. He only has 2 strikeouts. It's fly balls that have been the outs. As that pitch misses. Yeah, the only out that has been produced by a ground ball was Dalton Young being cut down last inning at second base on the double play attempt. And now the 1-0 swung through. Count evens up at a ball and a strike. So 1 ball and 1 strike. And no outs with a runner on first base. And the interesting thing about the throwover is that it's not a big lead at first base. So Skyridge tends to take a speedy secondary lead. It's not a large lead. He's still short of the cut, so his foot goes right to the cut of the infield. As that ball sprayed out of play. And moves the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes to Gavin Bauer. And now the 1-2 misses up and in. So the count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes to Gavin Bauer. And now the 2-2. Ground ball to short, an opportunity 6, 4, and on to 3, the double play. So just as we bring it up, Watts able to get the double play ball, and AF executes it up the middle. So 2 outs now for Skyridge. And coming to the plate is Camden Stafford. And that's in there for called strike, so the count goes to a ball and a strike. And the 1-1 from Watts misses up and out. 2 balls and a strike. And now the 2-1 misses wide of the plate. And the count now 3 balls and a strike. As Rojas comes out to talk things over with Watts. Watts of 47 pitches. And this ball lifted down the left field line and will be playable and will be taken for the 3rd out of the inning by Murdoch. We go to the top of the 5th inning, and AF holding to a 1-0 lead. You're watching Game 2 of the 6A Championship Baseball Series on KSLSports.com. Gavin Schoonover going to lead off the inning. There's a no ball, 1 strike. And that gets in there for strike 2. Schoonover single to right field in his only plate appearance. And the 0-2 did not, and it was not. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. And that pitch misses. And the count now 2-2. And the 2-2 pitch down, breaking ball lifted out of play. Shank up to 75 pitches. And the 2-2 chop to third base side, taken cleanly by Youngberg, in time to first. And I shared this earlier in the week. The thing about baseball is at any level, once you go to 90 feet bases, I mean, you're playing the same infield dimensions as anywhere else. And if you ever want to get a feel for how far that throw is from third to first, there's a great picture of the Oakland Coliseum, which will soon be vacant, with the Raiders already gone, the A's leaving. But you can see where the baseball field is laid out, and you see how far that throw is. As that ball lifted on the infield by Davin Pace, and it is taken by Ty Evans for the second out of the inning. So whenever you go, man, they can't throw from first to third, and just go look at that, and you get a feel for why playing third base, once you're 13 and up playing on 90 feet bases, you get a feel for why it's an issue and why it takes a little bit to kind of get used to. And to throw it accurately across the infield. It's a long throw. And so here we go to top of the order and CJ Mascaro. And Mascaro yet to get aboard. Has gone down on strikes both times up, the first and third. And now the 0-1. Oh, line right back at Shanky. Can't get that one, as it is a 2-out single. So extending the inning is Mascaro. Shank was able to stab one of those earlier in the game from Ryder Robinson, who was at the plate. And now a big chance for one of the really good bats in this American Fork lineup. Robinson batting .454 on the year, has 7 home runs to his credit. And now Skyridge's turn to make runners on first base do up downs. Josh Rojas is on deck. And this consultation gives us a chance to remind you that you can go to our friends at Heidemann & Associates for a free consultation. It's a full-service law firm. What that means is Justin Heidemann, if he can do it, he will do it, and he does do it very, very well. But if you need to get your living will and trust set up, one of his favorite things to do is do living will and trust, take care of families, make sure everything's lined up. It's a flat fee. Not going to charge you by the hour. It's a flat fee for living will and trust. Go to Heidemann & Associates, 801. I'll get that number here to you in a second. As that pitch misses up. But call Heidemann Associates, 801-472-7742, or go to utah.law. And Coach Roberts come out and have a conversation with Shank. And also want to remind you that we know it's mission call open season as schools come to an end and seniors are getting ready to go on their LDS missions. Let Modern Missionary outfit your missionary. Go to modernmissionary.com. You go register your missionary, or you can go to one of their locations, and you get a free shirt and tie when you register. That way you can try it before you buy it. And when these guys are going to be wearing these clothes for the next 2 years, might as well let them use it, make sure it's the shirt and the tie that they like. You go to modernmissionary.com. I want to thank them for their support here on KSL Sports Rewind. So, conversation's over. And that is off the plate here to Ryder Robinson. So 2 balls and no strikes. And Mascaro goes, throw down to second, and not in time. And Mascaro, who just for a second almost took that little hop. And the tag was applied the entire time from Johansson. So now the count 3 balls and no strikes to Ryder Robinson as a runner is in scoring position. There's a chance for Robinson to pick up his 22nd RBI on the year. And now they'll intentionally walk him. So put runners on first and second, and that's going to bring up Rojas. There's Josh Rojas. Remember last year in the state tournament, hit the ball extremely well at BYU and then here at UVU. Done a good job on the dish, not just this week, but in his career. And I think now that might be the day here for Shank. He's at 82 pitches. Unless Coach Roberts just wants to make sure that they understand here's a situation, running on first and second. This is where we're going with the baseball. It's a big moment in the ball game. And we are going to have a new pitcher. So that will be the day for Shank. We'll have the numbers for you. He gets a big hug from Coach Roberts. Shank's pitched his heart out today. He's done a nice job. Only allowed the 1 run in the top of the first inning. As that will be the day for Cruz Shank. We'll have a new pitcher. So go ahead and mute and we'll be right back. So new pitcher is Mac Fowers. So he'll be inheriting runners on first and second. And the catcher Josh Rojas coming to the plate. On the day, Joshua Rojas singled and scored in the first. Reached on a fielder's choice his last time up. As that pitch is off the plate. And now the 1-0. Ball hit well, but foul. A little scary foul ball. Not quite like Hado's foul ball against Henry Rowan Gardner. Fowers on the year, made 10 appearances. He's not part of the record. Is there part of the decision? The 1-1 lifted out of play. Does get out. So moves the count to ball and 2 strikes. Near got his job done right there from one of the good bats for American Fork. On the season, Josh Rojas, .392 hitter, has driven in 35 runs, 7 doubles, and 3 home runs. Here it's about extending the inning, especially down 1-2. Extend the inning, put the ball in the outfield to get an insurance run across the plate against this potent and timely Skyridge offense. And now the 1-2, and going to be able to look back at second. That is how American Forks scored their run, was an errant throw to second base on a pickoff move. Cruikshank now in center field. Dax Watts is on deck. And the 1-2 fouled off to the screen. Rojas got a little unbalanced on that, but able to fight it off. You just look at Josh Rojas. There's certain guys that look like lifer baseball players, and that's certainly Josh Rojas. One ball and 2 strikes. And Fowers. Breaking ball, lifted out of play. And we'll do it again at a ball and 2 strikes. Johansson out to have a quick little conversation. I want to thank our Rewind team. Today is the last day of our coverage for the school year, and we'll take a couple months off, come back at the beginning of August. So it's really a 2-month break when you think about it, really. I want to thank all of our guys. We'll go through the names here in a little bit. 1 ball and 2 strikes, 2 outs and 2 on. Again, Bender misses inside, and the count evens up at 2-2. I want to thank JT Wistersill for handling the 6A state tournament, as I was at BYU for the 5A side. Not easy to sit up here and do 15 games. And that ball lifted out of play. And I know math people out there, it was 14 games that JT did, but it's 14 consecutive. You do a day of 4 games, it's a lot of work. Your brain turns to mush after a while when you're not used to it. And it still does for those of us who still do a lot of it. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out and 2 on here for Joshua Rojas in a big leverage moment for Fowers. And the 2-2 misses wide. Ball 3. We have a great, that's what I love about this spot. As you can see, that ball was wide. So here we go, the payoff pitch to Rojas. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, and 2 on. Dax Watts is on deck. And Fowers is he's gonna spin to second. That's an uncertain pitch there. The kid ain't going anywhere at second base. Well, he is now. Once he commits home, runners will go. So runners will be in motion here for Rojas. Ball to the outfield, can score 2. And they go, and Rojas swings through it. Strike 3. Fowers able to get out of the jam. Here we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. It's still 1-0. You're watching Game 2 of the 6A Championship Series on KSLSports.com. Bottom of the 5th inning, and it's Skyridge coming to the plate, trailing 1-0. And leading things off is Mason Thompson. As Thompson fouls that one back to the screen. Last time up, Thompson went down on strikes. As Watts now at 54 pitches. Misses the plate there. Count goes to a ball and a strike. And that ball lifted by Thompson into deep center field. Mascaro gets back on it and has it for the first out of the inning. Makes you wonder if anyone tries to go get Mascaro to go play wide receiver on this high potent offense is always at American Fork. Man, he tracked that ball extremely well. We've seen that. We'll see it next game. Luke Livingston in center field. And also Maze Matson, who, man, that kid's fun to watch. Just a sophomore. The blast. As this ball hit well into left field, and it's going to get down. So Chase Youngberg comes through with the single, and a man aboard as we go to the top of the order. Game time run is on first base. And it's starting to feel like last night a little bit here in the bottom of the fifth. It was the bottom of sixth yesterday. And at the top of the order we go, and Dalton Young coming to the plate. Dalton is 2 for 2 today. Singled up the middle and singled down the third baseline. And that great stab by Schoonover. Able to beat out the throw. And Watts bounces that breaking ball. So 1 ball and no strikes. As the runner goes, Rojas, decent pop time, the ball gets into center field. And that's going to put Youngberg in scoring position. So game tying run right there, game tying run right there for Dalton Young. As Josh Rojas will come out and have a chat with Watts. Big moments, and here's the thing for Skyridge and the ability to move the runner now. Shared this last inning. There's only been 3 outs. There's only been 3 outs taken by or made by American Fork off of ground balls today. And I'm not sure of American Fork's argument here. I think he's saying he was stumbling off the base or something about the tag at second. So I really want to speculate, but I'm not going to, in the fear of just being completely and radically incorrect. So the umpires will get together after they talked with the coaching staff from American Fork in their petition. They talked to Coach Roberts. Now they're going to meet together. But it's a beautiful day at the ballpark here on this Memorial Day weekend. Hope you're safe wherever you're traveling, if you are traveling. And if you're just enjoying it home, welcome aboard. Hope you've enjoyed the broadcast. They go 1 ball and 1 strike. They are going 1 ball and 1 strike. And maybe that was part of the conversation, was making sure that the count was correct. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Young. As Young lifts this one into center field, Mascaro is there. Is it deep enough? The runner's going to go. The throw will be offline. And a game time run now 90 feet away. So Young does his job, and the sacrifice moves the runner to third. And there are 2 outs. And I'll bring up Krushank, the starting pitcher today, and right now the pitcher of record in this one. The chance to tie the game. Watts now, this will be his 60th pitch. As that ball down the right field line is foul. Put a scare into AF. Shank on the year, 25 RBIs. As that pitch is off the plate. 4 doubles, 4 triples on the year. A .330 batting average. And now the 1-1 from Watts. Lifted into right field. And Paces coming in on it, has it for the 3rd out of the inning. They were 90 feet away from tying the game up, and Watts pitches out of it. We go to the top of the 6th inning. You are watching Game 2 of the 6A Championship Baseball Series.
Okay. then shoot I can't die 무슨 질투 떠너비 올라와 공기도 달라.
Dax Watts will get us started in the top of the 6th inning as AF looking for some insurance runs. As Watts holds off on that one. Ball 1. And that is not on the plate. 2 balls and no strikes. Dax had the 2 doubles yesterday, but today has been a different story from the plate. As that misses as well. 3 balls and no strikes. Grounded out to short and then went down on strikes in his last at bat. 3 balls and no strikes to Watts. And that pitch does find the plate for strike 1. And that one there for a full count. So come all the way back, does Fowers. And that pitch misses wide, and he'll put the leadoff man on. So Watts gets aboard. His courtesy runner will be coming on. And that brings up Cooper Jones, the second baseman. As Jones squares the bunt and advance the runner. Nicely done, does his job. And the sacrifice bunt puts the runner in scoring position. And that brings up Jet Walker. But a frustrating day from the plate for Jet. 2 Ks. As Coach Roberts wants to go over some stuff with his team. So again, I want to thank our Rewind team. We started in football, added new members of our team. Jeff Hansen, Brian Brown did a great job. And we also brought in Alex Napolis to come join the team, amongst others. And just really had a blast. It's hard to think that it doesn't feel that long ago. We were at Rice Eccles Stadium doing our first pregame show and everything else, and then basketball. Dane Stewart, who is an absolute road warrior, able to hold down everything he does in basketball and in football that we do together. And then here in spring sports, Alex Annapolis taking charge of boys soccer, and Dane, who is also the voice of the University of Utah. He's the voice of the University of Utah lacrosse. And Dane does a great job with lacrosse and done an outstanding job and always picks things up and gets things done. But it's Vince Francis. He's a straw that stirs the drink around here. Him, it doesn't go. But I want to thank everybody. It's been a great year here on Rewind. So puts up Jet Walker. With the runner in scoring position and 1 out. That ball hit well down the left field line, and it is foul. Gave it a ride, did Walker. Would have been an extra base hit and would have scored a run. Jet on the year has 20 runs driven in, has 8 doubles. That was a close one. And now the 0-1. That's off the plate. Evens the count of the ball on a strike. Fowers came in last inning in favor of Krushenk. And able to get the K on Josh Rojas. As the Cavemen had runners on first and second. And now faces a bit of a jam here on his own. With the runner on second base and 1 out. Big moment in this ball game, and for AF, they need as many insurance runs as possible. They had a 5-run lead last night in the bottom of the 6th inning. And one able to hold it as that's a hit batsman. That got Walker, going to put him on base. So runners on first and second for the Cavemen. And that's going to bring up Coleman Perry, the first baseman. And that is our first hit batsman of the day. Remember, Rojas got hit. Still don't have a great explanation on that, what happened that brought him back in that inning. But Perry looks at strike 1. Coleman Perry on the day walked back in the second, flew out to short his last time up. And now the 0-1. And that ball's bounced. Runners are going to hold. So a ball and a strike here to Perry. Tense moments here in the 6A, in game 2 of the 6A series. As Perry will step back in. And now the 1-1. And that is in there for a called strike 2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Perry. Again, runners on first and second. Watts speed up bands at second base. Jet Walker at first. And that does not find the zone. Evens the count at 2-2. So put it back in. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And he hit him. Back-to-back hit batsman, and bases are loaded for the Cavemen. We do have 1 out. Make sure our scoreboard's correct. And that is going to bring up Gavin Schoonover. So Gavin with a big opportunity here. Young man, a senior third baseman, has 16 RBIs on the year, a double and a triple. This is a moment where you want to shut off. If the natural music's going on in your head, you need to go ahead and clear the mechanism and focus up at this at bat. And now Coach Roberts is going to come out and talk to Fowers. When he does that, we'll mute and we'll be right back. So Gavin Schoonover will step in as Bauer comes in to pitch for Skyridge. Comes in from right field. Bases loaded and 1 out. Runner still got a freeze on a line drive as that breaking ball misses inside. And that's always a thing to go over with your base runners. Hey, got to see the ball through the infield. Do not get doubled off here. This is a golden opportunity for American Fork. And for Bauer, there's no chance to come in and nibble. You're going to come in as the relief man with 2 outs and bases loaded. Limit damage. Work down and see if you get the ground ball and get out of the inning. The 1-0, chopped foul. So evens the count up at a ball and a strike. On the day, Schoonover singled in the 2nd inning, and he went grounded out to 3rd last inning. I don't think Ingersoll will bunt. You got corners up, middles back, and double play depth. The 1-1, chopped to 3rd, it gets through. Off the glove of Youngberg, 1 run comes in, and 2 runs will come in. There's a moment Gavin will never forget. No matter what happens in this series, he will remember that moment. Comes up big, and it's runners on 1st and 2nd as it's 3-0 American Fork. That was hit really well. Youngberg able to get his glove on it, but couldn't pull it in. You got the air in left field. It's going to bring in the 2nd run. So it's 1 RBI. 1 run batted in there for Schoonover. The 2nd run comes in on the air in left. How about this for the Cavemen? 3 runs on 3 hits. Snap down to 2nd. He was well off the bag. Couldn't hold on to the ball. Johansson had him. This could not keep the ball in his glove. Nice snap from the younger Johansson on the dish. Davin Pace swings through that one. Evens a count at 1-1, and he's out. Schoonover got caught napping on first base. Like Manny Ramirez in the 95 World Series, Javi Lopez got him out at first. Johansson got him there. Max Johansson with a 2-6 put out there on Gavin Schoonover. He blocks that one. The count goes to 2-1. Johansson tried to get the out at 2nd. Didn't. Well, okay, that won't work. We'll try it at 1st. Able to get the out. And now the 2-1. Chop foul. The count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And now the 2-2. Strike 3. Bauer gets the K, but the moment belongs to Gavin Schoonover. Brings in a run. Another run comes in behind it. 2 runs in the inning for American Fork. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Cavemen lead 3-0. You're watching Game 2 of the 6A Championship Baseball Series. Bottom of the 6th inning, and the Cavemen lead Skyridge 3-0. Skyridge got 2 at-bats left. Last night it was the bottom of the 6th that was the big inning for Coach Roberts' crew. Isaac Johnson going to lead this inning off. The new pitcher for American Fork is number 33, Teague Kelly. And the 1-0. Don't know much about Teague. I wonder, and it's just a speculation, if he's related to Isaac Kelly, who was a former BYU linebacker and a former, I believe, went to American Fork. Reason why I think that. Was a linebacker in the late 90s, early 2000s with Justin Enna, Paul Walkenhorst. Colby Buckwalt. And, of course, lifting extraordinaire Brady Papinga. So it's 2 balls and no strikes to Johansson. And that pitch misses wide. Count runs 3-0. Johansson on the day singled in the 1st. He walked in the 3rd. And the 3-0, and it's a 4-pitch walk. So Johansson aboard as Teague Kelly got out to find himself here. And I'm immediately going to come out and have a conversation. I understand it. As we don't have, Kelly does not have stats on for the season. But I remind you that Game 2 of the 5A series is going to be coming up here just momentarily, as they will re-enter Dax Watts. So Dax Watts will re-enter for Kelly, and Kelly's day is done. I think they want to go lefty on lefty. Didn't want to leave Watts out there, go righty on lefty with Isaac Johansson, as Watts will get to warm up one more time. You want to feel something awkward, go warm up with your teammates standing right behind you on the rubber. Give that one to Dax Watts. But Watts re-enters, so that's the day for Kelly. And I'm curious how it will go with Watts at the plate and then next inning. If this game were to go to extra innings, what that would look like on the re-entry. So, because the DH is Ryder Robinson, and Watts has to re-enter back into his spot, which he just did. So once you replace him on the mound, Watts' bat will be gone. So coming to the plate now is Tyler Ball. We were talking about his heroics from yesterday. As Watts finds the zone, strike 1. That's a nice frame there by CJ Rojas. Hey man, when you got a good catcher, sometimes the frame makes that painting that's hung at the Marriott look way better when it's in a really nice frame. You frame a Picasso poorly, sometimes it doesn't look as good. The 0-1 in there, called strike 2. So no balls and 2 strikes and no outs. Runner on first base here for Tyler Ball. And the 0-2 from Watts is wide of the plate, ball 1. On the day for Ball, he's flown out to right, flown out to center. And both those appearances are against Watts. And now the 1-2. No. Rojas didn't hold it, so Rojas really wanted it. He would stick it there for just a second longer. So he was a count up at 2-2. And it looks like they're going to go down the way here. And the 2-2 pitch, runner goes, ball, puts that ball in the center field. So advances the runner. And we got 2-1 and nobody out here for the Skyridge Falcons. Nice piece of hitting there by Ball. Runners on first and second. It brings up the second baseman, Ty Evans. And now Coach Ingersoll going to come out to talk with Watts. And I'm trying to remember the new visit rules because they've talked to the umpire each time coming out. You know, they have the traditional rule that you only get 2 appearances or 2 visits to the mound. On the second one, he's got to come out. But remind you where we are in the batting order when we come back up to the top, back to the top of the 7th. I mean, it's 1, 2, 3. We're at the top of the order. And Watts would be the 4th hitter. So once you remove Watts, you're going to move his bat in the top of the 7th inning. Remember, Game 2 of the 5A series will be coming up next. Timpanogos taking on the reigning 5A champion Lehigh. Timpanogos leading the series 1-0. Got the win last night. The outstanding, which they've gotten all week long, just great pitching from Timpanogos. Brian Tate was just spectacular. Gave up a run in the first inning and then shut out baseball after that. So it's Ty Evans at the plate. He is the game-tying run. Snap to first as they're going to crash from the corners. That's what they wanted to go over, is bunt coverages. So sometimes as runners on first and second, you're going to crash. You'll crash corners, and then the middles will peel to cover the corners. Sorry, I had a Carbon County moment there. But maybe they're just going to crash first base. Leave Schoonover at third to get the lead runner. As Rojas going to come back out to have a conversation to make sure they're on the same page with Watts. Evans singled his last time up. And now the 0-1 from Watts is wide of the plate. That's the 69th pitch for Watts. And now the 1-1. Hit well into left field. That's going to get down. A runner. Oh, it got through the left fielder. Murdoch mishandled it, and a run will score for Skyridge. I thought it was shallow to try to score the run, but Murdoch mishandles the ball, and the run comes in to score. So it'll be runners on first and second on the single. No run, no RBI there for Evans, as the run will score on the error. The second error for American Fork. We've had some bobbles out in the outfield today. His championship moments just kind of get you going a little bit more. That brings up Gavin Bauer, the right fielder. Well, currently the pitcher. As that pitch is off of the plate. Ball 1. So game-tying run is on first base. And the 1-0 from Watts. Going to show bunt. And the bunt is foul. someone somewhere saying, man, I thought maybe Coleman Perry tried to lay out for that one. Made sure it was foul, so the count even at a ball and a strike. So 1 ball and 1 strike with runners on first and second. Sharply hit to second base. They're going to try to turn the middle. 4-6-3, and there's 2 outs. Advance the runner to third, but the second ground ball induced by Dax Watts today. Jones to Walker to Perry. 4-6-3, the pitcher's delight. They bring up Cam Stafford. Well, he's being pinch hit for. This is Salcido at the plate. A little breaking ball finds the zone. Strike 1. This is Jackson Salcido. And the 1-1 shot back to Watts. Fields his position, toss it to first, and limits the damage does Dax Watts. But 1 run comes in for Skyridge. Last ups coming up. The final frame of game 2. Skyridge coming to the, or pardon me, American Fork coming to the plate, leading 3-1. You're watching game 2 of the 6A Championship Baseball Series on KSLSports.com. So leadoff double to Mascaro, and Robinson now down no balls and 2 strikes. They elevate the fastball. The ball gets away. Mascaro into third. And now an extension run 90 feet away. But Robinson, this is a good bat. 21 RBIs, could pick up number 22. He's got 13 doubles, 3 triples, 7 home runs on the season. As that one's off the plate and out of the zone. 2 balls and 2 strikes. AF trying to push us to game 3 this afternoon. And now the 2-2. Chop to the second base side. No play at the plate, and Robinson does his job, brings home the run, and it's back to a 3-run lead for American Fork. He gets the RBI, does not get the sacrifice, so put him at 22 RBIs on the year. And it brings up Joshua Rojas as he looks at ball 1. And Rojas roped to third. Lines out for the second down of the inning as he lines out to Ball, who's now at third base. And that'll bring up Dax Watts, the starting pitcher. Re-entered at pitcher after 1 batter last inning as he lifts this one out of play. So nobody on and 2 outs for Watts. Fastball, no. Evens the count on the day. Dax walked and scored last inning. Went down on strikes, then grounded to short. Looks at ball 2. Cooper Jones on deck. If Watts is to reach. And the 2-1, able to hold off. 3 balls and a strike. And now the 3-1 from Bauer, and misses. That's ball 4. Home plate umpire lost the count. That is ball 4. He admits, all right, I had the count wrong on my clicker. So Watts will take the walk to first. And then his speed up runner will come on. And Watts, I'm guessing, is going to come out for the bottom of the 7th inning. So that brings up Cooper Jones, the second baseman. Cooper sacrificed his last time up to advance runners. Went down on strikes in his previous 2 at-bats to that. So 0 for 2 today. As he looks at ball 1. One ball, no strikes, 2 outs with the runner on first base for Cooper Jones. The 1-0 misses up, snap to third. And he's in. And the 2-0 chopped foul down the third baseline. So the count goes to 2 balls and a strike. Cooper Jones on the year for the sophomore. We mentioned his last time up. We mentioned this. This is the 9th game. Well, he has 9 games. He has stats in. A 500 hitter in those 9 games. 13 hits and 26 at-bats. 5 RBIs, 2 doubles and a triple. As that one chopped foul down the first base line and then moves the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Chance to get out of the inning here for Bauer. It'll be last bats for Skyridge to try to force extra innings here in game 2. Runner goes on the 2-2, misses inside, and so it'll be a stolen bag. And a runner in scoring position with a full count. So runner will not go on movement here with no force behind him. And a full count. The payoff pitch from Bauer. Runner goes, hit well into left, and foul. I think Coach Ingersoll just reminded him too, hey, you don't have to steal. Or go in motion, get a good strong secondary here. Gonna score on a base hit no matter what. And again, the payoff pitch. Misses inside, ball 4. So put runners on first and second and 2 outs. And that will bring up the shortstop, Jet Walker. I fully expect to see Coach Roberts come out of the dugout. Kind of been the MO of this game. Jet was hit by a pitch and scored last inning. And the foul ball to the screen. Can pick up his 21st RBI with a base hit. As that one called strike 2. Now to shorten it up, put the ball in play. The 0-2 pitch, elevated and off out of the zone. Ball and 2 strikes. That was an enticing second 0-2 pitch. And now the 1-2. Hit sharply down the third base line. It is foul. Foul ball. Coach Ingersoll tried to will it fair. He was one pointing fair, but it was foul. Just foul. So Walker will step back in after the excitement, momentary excitement. One ball and 2 strikes. 2 outs, 2 on. And Bauer gets called strike 3. What could have been, if that ball was fair, is erased by what was a called strike 3 as we go to the bottom of the 7th. Last chance in game 2 for American Fork. You're watching the 2023 6A Championship Baseball Series.
Okay. You ain't on my level, then shoot. I can't die. 가슴 질투 떠너비 올라와. 공기도 달라.
So leading off the bottom of the 7th inning is Mason Thompson, the designated hitter. As Dax Watts comes back out. It won't be a complete game for Dax Watts, as that's in there for a called strike. He did not face one batter. Last inning, he did not face Isaac Johansson to start the inning. Came in, back in for T. Kelly. As the 0-1 off the plate. He was accounting the ball and a strike. But for Watts, that's pitch number 78. He's been efficient. He even given up 7 hits in this game. And now the 1-1. Breaking ball, called strike 2. If you're tuning in to watch the 5A Championship Game 2, we'll be back. We'll be coming up next as this one wraps up. We have guaranteed 2 games today, potential of 4. And the 1-2 just fouled off by Thompson. We mean just fouled off. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Watts does not get called strike 3. That was close. That was very, very close. It felt like that was strike 2. Did the folks in red? So another life here for Thompson. And now the 2-2. Fastball spoiled down the line. We'll keep it at 2 balls and 2 strikes. On the day for Mason Thompson, he's flown out to center and went down on strikes. There's only 2 plate appearances. Of course, had the 2-run homer last night in the bottom of the 6th inning. And now the 2-2. Fastball into the glove. Strike 3. So Thompson retired for the first out of the inning. And now we'll bring up the third baseman, Chase Youngberg. Watts has gotten in trouble today. He's been able to obviously scatter it. I mean, you only got 1 run on 7 hits. It means your defense is scrambled behind you. They've committed 4 errors on the day. As that pitch is there for called strike 1 on Youngberg. Youngberg singled in the 5th inning, his last plate appearance. Went down on strikes back in the 3rd. And now the 0-1 from Watts. Finds the outer part of the zone. Strike 2. Gets the Maddox corner. No balls and 2 strikes as Youngberg is granted time. The other part of the efficiency for Watts, he only has 2 Ks on the day. Got a lot of fly ball outs, 2 double plays, probably 3 Ks on the day. And bounces out 1 and makes it a 1 ball and 2 strike count. The 1-2 misses up and in. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Watts, a junior, will be back next year for Coach Ingersoll. And now the 2-2. Breaking ball goes to the right side. Perry with it over to Watts. He steps on it for the 2nd out. 1 out away from forcing a game 3 for American Fork. Top of the order, and it's Dalton Young, the center fielder. As Watts can try to compose himself. He's at 88 pitches. It brings up Dalton Young, who is 2 for 3 on the afternoon. That pitch misses wide. We'll draw Rojas, come out and have a chat with his pitcher. Again, if this were to end, Watts won't be a complete game because he'll face 20 of the 21 hitters. This is a lot like, well, not completely like, but somewhat like the 2001 3A championship where Matt Jukes started game 2. Brady Martinez came in relief. Then Matt Jukes re-entered himself at the mound where Brady was struggling a little bit. They came out to go talk to him. Matt just grabbed the ball and started warming up as Carbon defeated Snow Canyon in spectacular fashion that day in St. George at Dixie Field, or Flyer Field. So now that ball lifted down the left field line. Walker coming over, and so is Murdoch, who squeezes it for the 3rd out of the inning, and there will be a game 3. It will not be a 2-game Saturday as AF bounces back after the loss yesterday to take game 2 4-1 as Dax Watts pitches a gem. So you mentioned faces 20 of the 21 hitters today. About 90 pitches. And he gets a 4-1 victory. Our Heidemann Associates players of the game, obviously going to be Dax Watts on the mound. And offensively, we're going to go with CJ Mascaro. Our offensive player of the game had the double and a run scored in the 7th inning. And we'll go Gavin Schoonover. Gavin Schoonover as well. He had the huge RBI single back in the 6th inning to help push this game as well. Our final score in Game 2 is American Fork 4 and Skyridge 1. There will be a Game 3. We'll have that for you right here on KSLSports.com, your online home for state championships. For Vince Francis, I'm Dusty Lister. Thanks for joining us and for watching KSL Sports Rewind's coverage of the 6A Championship Baseball Series on KSLSports.com.